Hello students, today will be discuss about the Oxford movement. ओके आज का हमारा टॉपिक क्या है? ऑक्सफोर्ड मूवमेंट। जानते हैं इसके बारे में। द ऑक्सफोर्ड मूवमेंट वॉज अ मूवमेंट ऑफ हाई चर्च मेंबर्स ऑफ द चर्च ऑफ इंग्लैंड विच इवेंचुअली डेवलप्ड इनटू एंग्लो कैथोलिसिज्म. The Oxford movement was religious rather than literary. The movement was also known as the Tractarian movement after its series of publications. The tracts from the Times published from 1833 to 1841. Oxford movement, which is also known as the Tractarian movement, was fundamentally religious in nature and had nothing to do with Tory politics. It was not a political movement, but as it opposed liberalism in all its aspects. The Oxford leaders derived much from the philosophy of conversation. Among the various aims of the Oxford movement was to rehabilitate the dignity of the church, to defend the church against the interference of the state, to fight against liberalism, and to restore reverence for the sacraments, rituals, and dogmas of the Roman Catholic faith. They fought vigorously against liberalism of men like Thomas Arnold, who fastened on the ethical significance of Christianity and minimized the importance of rituals of theological articles of opinion. The ideas of the visible church, a divine society instituted by Christ with its sacraments, its rites, its priesthood, and its hierarchical appointments, was repugnant to Dr. Arnold, and one of the aims of the Oxford leaders was to oppose liberalism of Dr. Arnold tooth and nail. Publication. The group began a collection of translations of the Church Fathers, which they called the Library of the Fathers. The collection eventually ran to 48 volumes, the last published 3 years after Pusey's death. A number of volumes of original Greek and Latin text was also published. The background. Oxford movement was not political movement, but as it opposed liberalism in all the aspects, the Oxford leaders derived much from the philosophy of conversation. The Oxford movement was opposed to rationalism in matters concerned with the church, with the unprecedented growth of science in the 19th century. There was a growing demand that religion should be put to the test of rational scientific examination. T.H. Huxley and many others turned agnostics when they failed to test religious faith on the touchstone of science. The Oxford movement stood against too much insistence on religion and dogmas of Roman Catholic religion. The poet who worked the mainspring of the Oxford movement was the trade of rationalism. The problem for Newman was how to check the growth of rationalism as he saw it in England. This aggressive anti-rationalism manifested itself in the Oxford man's affirmation of the miracles associated with the history of the ancient church and the numerous saints. Aims of this movement. क्या aims हैं movement के? This movement had following particular aims behind it: to bring back the dignity of church, to oppose the state authority over the church, to oppose liberalism in all aspects of life, to restore the old customs of the church. Effect क्या है Oxford movement के? The movement postulated the branch theory which states that Anglicanism, along with Orthodoxy and Roman Catholicism, from 3 branches of the historic Catholic Church, 3 branches: Holy, Catholic, and Apostolic Church. Newman's final reception into the Roman Catholic Church in 1845 followed by Henry Edward Manning in 1851, had a profound effect upon the movement. Tractarian who became Roman Catholic. One of the principal writers and proponents of the Tractarian movement was John Henry Newman, a popular Oxford priest who, after writing his final tract, he was one of the number of Anglican clergy who were received into the Roman Catholic Church during the 1840s, who were either members of or were influenced by the Tractarian movement. The Oxford movement was allied with the Romantic movement and derived much inspiration from the Middle Ages. In the words of Professor Gates, the Oxford movement was in its essence an attempt to reconstruct the English church in harmony with this romantic ideal. Moody and Lovett also remarked the Oxford movement stood for the restoration of the poetry, the mystic symbolism, the spiritual power, and the beauty of architecture, ritual, and service which had characterized the Catholic Church in the Middle Ages. The Oxford movement owed much to Coleridge and Scott, who turned man's mind in the direction of the Middle Ages. There is much truth in the remark that the real spirit behind the movement was not that of Cavell or Newman, but that of Walter Scott of the Waverley novels. Newman wrote to Cavell on the 12th of September 1842. I have been reading Lockhart's Life of Scott. I really do trust he has done a work and may be an instrument in the hands of Providence for the revival of Catholicity. The Oxford men turned their gaze to the Middle Ages in order to escape from the drab monotony of life and materialistic advancement striking at the faith of the people. The failure. The Oxford movement failed because its appeal to the authority of a Catholic tradition was not of sufficient defense of the Catholic religion against the attack of scientific and the historical criticism. Influence on next generation. क्या next generation का influence हुआ? The Oxford movement was definitely a religious movement, but it had influence on the literary taste for its age. It inspired the poetry of the pre-Raphaelites, though some of them were indifferent to its theological implications. It influenced the poet of D.G. Rossetti, G.M. Hopkins, Coventry Patmore, R.W. Dixon. The Oxford movement stood against the secular authority, interfering in the affair of the church. The church was subjected to the secular authority. The grave inconvenience that arose from her connection with the state had been demonstrated. By the affair of Dr. Hampden, who had been appointed by Lord Melbourne to the post of Regius Professor of Divinity in the University of Oxford. His ideal of dogma as being a pure matter of opinion gave great offense not only to orthodox high churchmen but to the evangelicals as well. This incident created much dissatisfaction, and the Oxford men advanced the view that the state should make the church free because it was more than a human institution. Moody and Lovett rightly remark in this connection. Newman and his friend wished also to defend the church in view of its divine character against this interference of the state, which was disposed to reform it along with parliament and other institutions, curtailing its powers and revenue. The Oxford movement was definitely a religious movement, but it had great influence on the literary taste of its age. It inspired the poetry of the pre-Raphaelite school, and religious writers like Hopkins, Coventry, Patmore, Thompson, Freud came under its fold. Newman's apology was an outstanding literary achievement of the movement. In the religious field, the movement did in fact restore to the church authority, dogmatic precision, Catholicity, reverence for the sacraments, and the certain types of saintliness. It altered the accepted pattern of Anglican thought and practice. The importance of serious prayers, form of piety, fasting, and personal holiness was emphasized, and a link was discovered between the Church of England and the pre Reformation Church of Rome. It was no mean achievement, and though the movement sounded its death knell in 1845, the ashes of the movement were felt later on. In fact, it was not merely a passing ripple on the surface of the sea of hate. To conclude, in the words of J. L. Mayne, the work to which Newman and his co-objectors set their hand in times long past is not destroyed, nor could we, unless indeed the world were doomed to founder in a night of hideous and irrevocable disaster. But that shall not, cannot be. The work of the Oxford Father will come of fruition. Okay, that's it. Thank you for watching.